Welcome back to my channel, everybody. This is Jim, What Dugan Thinks. I'm glad to have everybody here today. Been trying to make this video for a half hour between the dogs barking and interruptions. I'm about to lose my crackers. So let's change this over so you guys can actually see the star of the show, which is the Devo knife. I almost didn't buy this knife. And it's not because I don't like their knives. I love their knives. But as you can see, the flipper hole is relatively small. And with that said, I have trouble flipping it. And that's the truth of the matter. I mean, sometimes I get lucky like I just did then. And I guess it takes practice. And I don't spend enough time with a particular knife to practice, I guess is the issue. I find that I can also use my pointy finger to flip this pretty good. Thumb, I have to give it a lot of wrist, and I can slow roll it better. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to do a spotlight on the knife. So we're going to start off with some simple specifications. This is the DIVO Mesh 2.5. This is the flamed belt satin. I guess this is titanium. I really thought this was going to be brighter. I am glad that it's subtle the way it is. And I love this little contour they put in here. Actually, there's two. It's a little different up front there. I just like the feel of this knife. I'm so glad I got it. And it's a bargain for this price. $149 plus I think I used a discount coupon. On freaking believable. I think this knife is an excellent knife. So we're going to do my comparison. It's a butter knife. That's right. A dirty butter knife at that. Anyway, the butter knife is about 9 inches overall length. So everybody's got one of these in their kitchen cabinets. The Devo knife is got a blade length of about usable 3 1/4. I'd say the bleed out to the center of the choil is a little bit further than that. The blade has got a satin grind to it. I forget what the steel is, and I'm not a steel guy, guys. No pun intended. You guys can look that up on the webpage. I can't see it well enough to tell you. At any rate, the handle is a little over 4 1/8, I'd say. This thing is very narrow. Let's look at the blade height. It is just over an inch at 1.08. The blade thickness right behind the blade. Let me get further up. 0.0225. The top of the knife. 0.0118. It's got jimping out here that is perfect. I mean, smooth in the hand. I mean, this is probably one of the smoothest handling knives I've got in terms of what sits in the hand. I'm just blown away by this knife. They hit it out of the ballpark. The only problem I see with it, let's get this thing to focus. See that choil? You're going to run into the plunge grind there pretty quick if you're not already into it. And he knows better. Kevin designs this, reviews a lot of knives. I think they could have done that a little bit bigger. But I don't sharpen my knives because they're basically Safe Queens collectibles. So I don't really worry about that. It doesn't matter to me. I just got to say, fit, out of the box, function. I mean, if you want to use this for a user, that's great. I kind of look at these knives with these limited production runs as semi-customs or limited production runs as cool things to collect. You get a nice cloth. I mean, this cloth is huge. Probably the biggest one I've ever got since I've been doing the knives, which hasn't been that long, maybe a year. What does this baby weigh? All right. 3.71. That's not too bad. What can I say? It's just a good all-around knife. And I mean, it's just probably slicey. I'm almost afraid to try to cut paper with it, because I'm not good at it. Plus, I got the fan blowing. Fan's blowing on me, and I've just never been good at cutting paper. Cut myself all day long. I say that's pretty slicey. I don't see any real issues with that. So what do you guys think? I think these knives come out in limited runs. You ought to jump on them. The only thing I wish that was different about it, I would love to have a flipper on the back, because obviously with my hand issues, I can flip them better. Although I still say the index finger for me is the best in terms of flipping. And of course it shuts just fine. It has no issues with that. I mean, Kevin, kudos to you and your partner. You've done a fantastic job with this knife. I'm going to be going live on Sunday, coming up here, hopefully every Sunday at 3:30. I got put in YouTube jail last week or the week before. I can't remember now at this point. But at any rate, look for me. I'll be around. Again, thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody that stops in more than you can imagine. Thank you again, Jim.